I am so excited. I'm always excited. So when I say that I'm so excited, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm always excited. That's not true. There are days when I'm not excited, but today is not one of them because I am here streaming onto the World Wide Web where millions and millions of people
Billions of people are tuning in live.
Yes, they are. And, maybe if they're not available right now at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, they're going to hit us up on the replay, which is totally fine by me because this, my friend, Gabby Fisher, is one evergreen person, like if there ever was one.
Thank you, Catheirne. That's so nice of you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I'm excited to have you here. First of all, introduce yourself, right? Like I can say so many things, but I think it's fun to hear what you have to say about yourself.
Yeah, so I actually have been kind of wrestling with my little elevator pitch because I feel like it's always evolving. But the way I would explain myself is that I am a brand strategist, an entrepreneur, and a hype woman, which is a new phrase that I've adopted as of late because all of my friends, especially like my professional colleagues and the women that I collaborate with a lot in business, they're always like, whenever I have an idea, Gab, you're the person I want to go to because I just go ham. I just love hyping people up and making people excited to do things and to try new things. And I will always have your back. So that's kind of who I am. I originally started. What's that?
It's totally true. I mean, so I don't know. I just came up with Hype Lady, but maybe you were just like energetically sending these messages to me.
That is called good branding, Catheirne.
It is. Well, there you go. You're demonstrating exactly what we all need to be doing every day. And I think like what's really cool about your approach to this is that, I mean, and maybe this isn't a shocker to you, but you bring the fun and you bring you disarm people. You make them feel like so relaxed and, like just show up as your authentic self, and that is what the Here For Live is all about. Like, stop pretending to be something you're not. Stop breaking your mind over like what your elevator speech is. Just say who you are, right? And chances are high that like people already know this about you because you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. And well, I appreciate you saying that I always show up as my authentic self because that is something that I've been feeling really passionate about over the last year or so was like, who exactly am I? What do I actually want to be doing? What do I love to do? And kind of just following that path wherever it leads me. And I feel like I'm in a really good place of like authentically figuring out like who is Gabby Fisher? What does she offer to the world? And how do I identify? And that's kind of why I launched my personal brand a couple months ago, about 2 months ago now, was because I feel like I was working on so many projects and I had my feet in so many waters, but like, who am I? Like, yes, I can be labeled as this business person or co-founder of this, but who am I, Gabby Fisher, as a person, and why would somebody want to work with me in any capacity?
Oh my God, I love this because, another thing that we have in common is that we have both done a very good job of being of service to other people and to other things and other entities. And, I feel like I was not prepared for like what that would feel like when I started Palette. And even that before I started Palette, I had Paint Sip, I still have Paint Sip. My point is that once you get to that level and you put yourself out there, people come for you. They want your time, they want your energy, they want your knowledge, they want it for themselves. And I'm totally happy to help people. I mean, but it's why we created Palette, because Palette is the place where you can now go and get me and get Marcella and get all of us, because we are very much a collective group of people who are like-minded in the way that we do believe that we can have it all. We do believe that we can have it now. Like Oprah said, you can have it all, but you can't have it all right now. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. I can have it all right now, but I need to look for help. I need to bring people along for the journey. I need to be honest about what I'm working on and upfront and transparent, all those things. But I certainly, I mean, I might get shit for it, but I don't agree with Oprah in that sense because I believe that we can all have everything that we want, but we have to be honest and clear about what that is. And we have to surround ourselves with people like you, people like me, who are going to hold you accountable and keep pushing you to reach those goals or launch the brand or just do it, right? Like just take the action. Damn it.
Definitely. And I think that's where a lot of my work comes in. Is I feel that a lot throughout my years as an entrepreneur. I think I'm going on year 5 in October. I have.
No.
I am going on year 5, which is crazy.
Way longer. So wait, what were you doing before year 5? You've always been like this, like you're very independent, right? You put yourself out there. You've been doing it for longer than 5 years, though.
Well, I was in the nonprofit space working for an organization. So I was kind of out in the community, but I wasn't doing my own thing yet. And then I got a job as a human resource consultant. Hated it, sitting at a desk 9 to 5, working with the same people every day. And so I quit my job and I traveled Europe for 6 months. And then I traveled the States for 2 months. And I came back and I was like, screw it, I'm never working for anybody ever again.
So, but Comads was like your side hustle?
No, I started Comads right when I got back from my travels, my year of just traveling.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was almost about 5 years ago now, which is insane.
All right, fine. I agree with you. It's been 5 years. It just seems like you've been at it for much longer than that.
No, it feels long. In some instances, it feels longer. Some it feels shorter. But I am proud of what I have been able to accomplish over the last 5 years, and really, it all comes down to community and putting myself out there and reaching out to people and asking them to have coffee with me or asking them to just give me feedback on my ideas. And actually last week, 2 colleagues of mine who are also entrepreneurs, we hosted an event at Palette.
Oh, I know. And I'm so sad that I didn't get to go because I have these 3 humans at my house that, they live.
Yes, I understand that. I don't have any humans other than me that live at my house, so.
But it was awesome, right? You had a great time. There was so many people there.
It was amazing. We capped it at 25 people to start. We're gonna keep it a small, intimate group, but probably expand it a little bit. But basically, we brought this group of entrepreneurs together, whether they were people who just had business ideas, whether they were seasoned entrepreneurs, and we just want to form, this community of, very similar to Palette, this community of people who want to inspire each other and share resources and share community. And one of the first things that I said to people when they were asking, like, how did you start your business? I spent the first year of my business not making any money and just going out and meeting as many people as I could. And a lot of the women in the group were like, I'm a little bit more timid. I feel like I'm not super outgoing, but that's what groups like Palette and this group are designed for, is to kind of give you that extra boost of confidence that you need to like push you out and make those connections. But I say that all the time, like networking and building community and putting yourself out there is totally the first step of building a strong foundation for your business.
Yeah, I was going through like this checklist. Like I'm obsessed with like the self-development and advancement. Maybe I'm a little psycho about it, but I'm constantly like reading, all the things that you can do to advance people, and myself. And I think it's important to be unapologetic about it, right? Like I'm acknowledging that I don't have it all figured out. I don't have all the answers, but I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress always, and I'll never stop being that. But it was interesting. It was really cool to see, like, there was like different, it was like almost like a test. It was like a quiz. And it was like, what section are you in? Are you in the place where like you have the idea, but you haven't launched yet? Are you at the space where like you have launched and you're figuring it out, and you have 1,000 people on are list, and then and I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm all the way at the bottom. And now there you can get stuck there too, right? There are people who are doing seemingly successful, doing great things in the community, and they're all over the place or whatever, but they could be stuck too. And I have found that in my experience with Palette, just meeting people, and we have so many different levels of career and entrepreneurship, and we have stay-at-home moms, we have people working all sorts of different things at all different levels, but not one of them is like, oh, I got it all figured out, and I'm going to show you the way, but everyone here is working, and I have to implore that to be, because I remember at one point, I thought to myself, well, once I hit that level, once I have, 3 locations for Palette in the capital region within 3 years, I'm going to feel like settled and content. And I got news for you. I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to feel content because the work is never done. And my life's mission is to impact and influence and advance as many people to put themselves out there, to show up for it. That's half of it. And be your authentic self and just do the damn thing, right? Like, stop sitting on the sidelines watching all these other bozos out there in the world doing what they're doing. And it's like, they're not all that. Some of them are not all that.
Yep. Yeah, no, totally. And I think that's why communities like Palette are so important, because so many people have the ideas, they have the ambition, they just don't know where to start in the execution. And that kind of leads me to a new service that I'm offering along, with the launch of my personal brand. Is I decided that, I was getting a lot of questions from different people who had great business ideas, who had done the market research, who felt like whatever they had, that their idea had to offer would solve a problem for a consumer. And they're just like, I have no idea where to start. I've been sitting on this idea for a year. I had no idea where to start. So I was like, let me build out an execution program, like a 3-month program, basically, that helps people build the foundation of their business so that they can launch and actually have a game plan of what to do next. So I'm working with this one woman right now. She actually used to be my old boss. She was an amazing boss, and she retired from human resource consulting. And she—
What? Wait, I think I know this person.
Do you? Hope DeRocha? I'll just throw her name out there.
No. Who is the person that you used to work with that started work doing HR? She joined Amy Roman's team, or at one point was on.
She was through a different job, but yes, okay. I know who you're talking about. And she, she was the director of a human resource consulting firm for so long. And she was like, you know what? I'm really interested in positive psychology and learning what your individual character strengths can do for you in the workplace and in your personal lives. And she's been toying with this idea for 2.5 years now.
This is Hope.
Yep. Okay. She can never really nail down the messaging, never really nailed down like the marketing strategy or what her services were to offer. So we've been working together to kind of lay out that blueprint so that at the end of 3 months, she can just like run for it. And she really needed that execution and accountability piece, which I think, execution is one of my biggest strengths. Is I can turn an idea into something that's a product or a service. And some people are missing that piece. And so that's what I really want to do is help women take their ideas, execute them, and launch them.
I love it. And you're so right. I mean, you have so many projects that you're working on. And I guess this is the first one that you are working. It's like, it's just your own thing, and it's just you solo doing this. And so I'm so excited and happy and proud of you. I mean, goddamn, you're doing the damn thing, and you're doing it on your own terms, which I think is the most exciting thing. Like, to not have anyone that you have to run things by, that you have to, you don't even have to carry on their own stuff, right? Like, because maybe they're afraid to do X, Y, Z, or, they want to take it in a different direction, whatever. I mean, maybe I'm going off on a tangent here, but I think like you doing this for yourself after you've been doing so much for others for so long, it's huge. It's so cool to see.
Yeah, thank you.
So people can hire you to do like one-on-one consulting and do this execution plan, or is this something that they can just get into on their own? No, yes. They need to.
It right now it is structured in a one-on-one capacity. I would love to create courses and workshops at some point to kind of be able to reach a larger group of people at once. But I'm kind of just like testing this out and seeing how this is going on a one-to-one basis. I also do think, every person's story is different. And that's really like what I think sets me apart from people who might be doing the same thing, is like, I'm so focused on your story. Like, yes, you might want to open a vet practice, which is great, but there are millions of vets in the world. Why would somebody want to work with you? It's because of your story, how you got here. Why are you passionate? What happened in your life to bring you to this point where you actually wanted to invest and start a business? And so that's really, the case with Hope. The client that I'm working with is, there's so many people doing, involved in positive psychology and wanting to lead workshops on identifying your character strengths. But what happened in your life? What was that moment, that turning point where you're like, I want to help other people do this? And that story is really that piece that sets you apart and is what going to make you be successful in your field, you know, like who you are and your why is really what people connect with. And that's how you're going to find your target demographic in your business.
Awesome. So what are your like goals? I mean, do you have like a 6-month goal? I mean, I like the 90 days, the 33 months, like, cause we have so much in common. I feel like I'm talking to myself right now, but I like the immediate, like, let's do this in the next 90 days. Let's do this in the next 30 days. I just went across the street to check on the new space that we're opening up. And I'm like, is this in 2 weeks? This is supposed to be in June, but like, are we doing this tomorrow? Are we going to paint tomorrow? Like,
Yep.
you know? So how do you manage other people's timelines when they don't line up with yours? You know, because I feel like that's a personal struggle for me right now. Like, I'm like, can we just get it done? Like, it's like I cannot wait to wake up in the morning, hit the ground running, and do the things that it's going to take to get to the next, like, keep connecting the dots.
Well, it's very forceful how I keep people on timelines. No, but like with this program, you know, part of Hope's issue was that she had been thinking about this idea for years and really trying to put all the pieces together. But sometimes you just need to launch, and whether it's perfect or not, you just need to put things out there and kind of adapt to what the market is telling you. And I think that, you know, my 3-month execution program is like, let's build out the messaging, let's build out the story, let's build out the strategy, and we're going to roll with it at the end of 3 months, and we're going to get feedback, and we're going to adjust as necessary. And I think that so many times when people are starting a business or a new project, they're waiting for it to be absolutely perfect, and it's never going to be absolutely perfect. Like, sometimes you just need to like throw it out there, see what sticks, and just pivot and adjust as necessary. There's a quote from this book that I love. It says, bite off more than you can chew and learn how to chew later. And that's kind of like my philosophy of life, which can be bad and good at certain times. But I really do think that, especially in business, when the market and the world is changing every single day, like, obviously you're going to have to make changes to the messaging in a few months, probably. You might need to alter the services that you thought that you would be, you know, giving people off the bat. But I think it's so important to just put it out there and adjust as necessary.
Yeah, and then once I mean, I say a couple of things, right? I say done is better than perfect. I say like leap, then look, figure out how to land, you know? And literally every time that I've done this and I've put myself out there, like, so far off the ledge where I'm like, I am so uncertain right now. There are people there that show up for you, that catch you, that pull you up by your bootstraps when you're not able to yourself. And it's been it's almost addicting to start to do that more often, because I'm like, who's going to catch me today? You know, usually it is Marcella, but there are other people that catch me too. And I talk about them all the time because I can't function without these people anymore. And I just think it's you do have to get and you will start to get comfortable with being incredibly uncomfortable, because it's like it's a high. And I love when people show their true colors, you know, like when the going's getting tough and things are not going well and it's very unsteady. That's when I love to see who are the people that are going to show up. It's so much fun to see people, and it's usually, you know, a lot of the times it's new people who you never saw coming, which is really cool, because even in amongst palette people, like, again, there are so many different levels to palette and different people in different places in life and in business. So there are people right now that they're not capable of showing up for each other yet, you know? And so I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but it's just like such a fun place to be in when you are out there and you're doing it and you're here for it, right?
Totally.
The other thing I wanted to say that you touched on is like, yeah, putting yourself out there and being open to and being flexible, and also measuring, like asking for the feedback from your people. Like, I don't know how many times, I mean, actually, I think in every email that we send to our membership, it's like, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what we can improve on. Do you have feedback for me? I can't function without the feedback. I can't function with like measuring and like revert and like evolving, right?
Yeah, no, totally. I think that that's part of being an entrepreneur is that you have to have, in order to be successful long term, you have to have thick skin and be able to accept that feedback and put that into action. And I think that a lot of people are afraid to start because they're afraid of getting that feedback. And it is scary, and sometimes it hurts, and sometimes things do not work out the way that you think they are when you launch something. But you need to be willing to accept the feedback, accept constructive criticism, and adapt and adjust as necessary. And I think a piece of that goes to, when you do launch a business, so many people have a vision of what they want to succeed, or what they want to do in the next year, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, which is great. And I think having a plan is really important. But I also think if you want to succeed long term, you have to be willing to kind of go with the blows and see where the wind blows you, like where your community is kind of showing you where you need to go, adjust and adapt to what the world is going through, what technology is being used. I think I've seen some people who have come to me for business consulting. They were so strict about the plan and the thing that they wanted to create that they failed. And they never picked themselves up because they were like, if it's not going to be this way, I'm not doing it. And I don't think that is a sustainable mindset if you want to be an entrepreneur long term. So I definitely, everybody fail fast, pick up, like, Catheirne, you dealing with the pandemic, like you had to pivot, everybody had to pivot. And I think that, that's a characteristic that you really need in order to build something sustainable.
Oh my God. I love failing because every time you fail, you like rejection is kind of like a roadmap for me. I mean, like if people are not, and I also feel like it's flexing the entrepreneurial skill of good business, right? Like when you are faced with failure, like what are you gonna do with it? You're gonna go sit around and cry about it? I mean, I did cry about some things, but also it's like, okay, now I can focus on this, now I have more. Without the cafe, I can tell you I have a lot more time on my hands to do the things that I actually really love to do. I love being, I don't know, in my head, I'm like, I just wanted there to be, I don't know, food is important to me.
Yeah, me too.
And I mean, everything revolves around food for me. I'm like, we're gonna have a meeting. It's gonna be a lunch meeting, right? So in my head, I just I really wanted that to work. And it did work. It just didn't. And now it's working with less overhead, which is actually just really good business decision.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that is not the best use of my time. And figuring out what the best use of your time and what only you can do, right? Like, what is it that only I can do? What is it only you can do? And being able to just focus on that, which is, again, I mean, I feel like some people might say, wow, Gabby Fisher's all over the place. She's got all sorts of things going on. She's got this with Becky, and she's got, I still think of you as an ACE person. I don't know if you're still doing that or not. You got the COMAD thing. That's how we first got introduced. And I just feel like, yeah, you're all over the place, but not really. You are doing all the things that you enjoy doing. And community and helping others and serving others is entrenched in everything you're doing. And I'm just so happy to see you, putting investment in yourself and then sharing like what only you could do for folks out into the world. It's so amazing to see, and I'm so proud of you. And I mean, I do kind of feel like I'm a part of it because you're a part of Palette. So thank you. I really appreciate you sharing this entire experience with me because, I'm learning from everyone around me.
Me too. It's a constant learning curve, but no, thank you so much. And I'm so happy to be part of the Palette community, and I've met incredible people through it, and I will continue every day. I'm sitting in the Schenectady co-working space right now.
Yes, it's so pretty.
If you haven't, it's beautiful up here. But yeah, no, thank you. I think that having a strong support system through Palette and through other means has been completely instrumental to me doing the work that I want to be doing.
So I love it. I also want to acknowledge that like there's more where that came from, right? Like this is just the beginning, and I just think like every day is just the beginning. Totally. I think that one thing I actually did want to touch base with you about this is because I was like reading the Albany Business Review, and our favorite, I know he's your favorite person to do. Do you see the comments on this program, or is it just me?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so Walter, I don't know if he's still here.
Hi, Walter.
He said hi. I guess it doesn't. Oh, that's the comment. Ham. I am the ham.
I said ham. Marta's mother. If you guys don't know what that means.
So Albany Business Review, it's Power 50, and you're going through all the questions, and they're like, what is it? What would you change about the Capital Region? And I wanted to ask you that question because I don't think you need to be printed in the Albany Business Review to have a take on this.
What would I change in the Capital Region? That's really interesting because I actually am the lead consultant on the Capital Region Brand Initiative. So that is a very interesting question.
What? I didn't even know this. Wait.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Who pays you for that?
Yeah. So it actually stemmed through my work with ACE. I was a consultant with the Alliance for the Creative Economy for a while, especially as I started my business. Maureen Sager, who used to be the executive director of ACE, she has been completely instrumental in being my mentor and really pointing out what my strengths are and giving me opportunities to highlight those strengths. And through that, we built the Capital Region Brand Initiative with the support of the Center for Economic Growth and Capital Region Chamber, who have now adopted the campaign totally. And basically the goal was to build a digital media platform, website, social media, different types of content to attract and retain Gen Z and millennial talent from New York City, Boston, Philly, some of these larger cities around us. But we're like, hey guys, like the Capital Region's really great and the cost of living is so much lower. You guys should come check it out. It's really fun. Here's all of these great things to do. And these are the great places that you can work and make a really awesome living doing so. So I manage all of the content and the content strategy behind that campaign. And so basically I am like a Capital Region hype woman, right? Like I'm like, this is a great place to live. This is a great place to work. It's awesome to be a young entrepreneur here. And it's funny because I hear in this role, I hear a lot of negativity about the Capital Region. I see both sides of the coin, right? And the one thing I would change about the Capital Region is how we talk about ourselves, being residents here, and I was born and raised here. How we talk about ourselves really is shown in a negative light in more ways than I believe is necessary. And I think that sometimes the negative tone behind the Capital Region really overpowers the positive. And I would just love people. It's like, you're going to be here. You want to live here, raise a family here. Let's talk about how great this place is. And yes, there are certain things that we might want to change and we don't like about the place, but you totally have the power to impact that as a resident and as a person who lives here and works here. So I would really just love that attitude to shift. And I know that it's going to be a long process, and the Capital Region Branding Initiative is just a piece of that puzzle. And hopefully, over time that will kind of shift that attitude. But love where you live, explore where you live. This place is amazing. There's 8 counties. There's over 1 million people. There's countless opportunities and potential if you want to make a difference here. So that is the one thing that I would change about the Capital.
I could not. I'm a transplant. I moved here 11 years ago from New Orleans, which is like the #1 city for crime. So like, I'm really, really grateful and happy to live in this Capital Region. I have seen so much opportunity here. I can't speak enough about it, right? And what really pisses me off is like, the way that we talk about our own region and the way that we talk about our own communities, right? Like we're always like, Troy's better, or Schenectady's better, oh, Saratoga, oh, I don't want to go north of Twin Bridges. Like all of this crap, just like stop. Because when me and not Posey, that's my daughter. She's actually at sleepaway camp right now, and I miss her so much. And I'm having a very hard time because I can't communicate with her. Like, what is she doing? Anyway, Marcella and I went to Austin, Texas. And this, right? Like one of the first ACE events that I went to was an event around like comparing Austin to the Capital Region. There are like a lot of similarities, right? So we went out there and for a little trip, little business trip. And when we told people that we were from Albany, New York, or the Capital Region, New York, they were like, wow, that's so amazing. You must be so wow, And I was like, yes, I am. I live in the capital of New York State, baby. And I just thought it was so interesting how people outside of the region think higher than we think of our own selves sometimes. And I got news for you. The Capital Region is a very incredibly safe. I mean, like, we got our own shit, right? Everybody's got their shit, but like, I don't know. We could be the number one crime city in the country. We're not. We're the Capital Region. We're amazing. We have so much opportunity. I can't stand the negativity and like the making fun of upstate New York. We're about it, and we need to be about it, like more publicly about it. And I do really wish that Albany Airport had more direct flights to New Orleans. That's just the one thing. Can we just do that one thing, and then I will have nothing negative to say about the Capital Region?
I'm here for it because my best friend lives in New Orleans now. She's going to grad school there. So yeah. That would be a huge help for me.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Is she at Tulane?
Yep, she's getting her PhD at Tulane. Yep.
Wow. Oh my God. Well, we have to connect her with all of my people. She must be awesome.
She's super interesting. She just got back from a 2-month trip to Ecuador where she studied vampire bats. So she's a bat researcher, which is very cool. Yes, and she blew out her back by macheteing through the forest to get to these bat caves. So that's cool too.
Wait, have you introduced her to Marcella? Because
no, but I need to. I need her to come on like a true crime night or something because she's super into true crime too, and like need to all make this happen. But yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm putting out into the world that we need to do like a Here For It in New Orleans.
Love that. Okay, Bryn, we need to do a palette event in general in New Orleans.
Yeah, like in person. Like I don't want. I love the Zoom life, and I love that you can be there and you can be here. But I want to see people. I want to feel people, touch people, like in the least creepy way. I'm a hugger. I feel like let's do this.
Yes. That's so funny. I love it.
All right. So in closing, we've solved all of the world's problems. Millions of people saw this episode. I'm so proud of you. Where can people find you? I mean, we have this little link here that we can share.
So, a really great way to reach out to me is through Instagram. I believe that my handle's down there, but it's at GABFSHR, or through my website, gabbyfisher.biz. I love meeting new people. I love collaborating. I love connecting. So whatever you want to chat about, I'm here for you. But thank you so much, Catheirne, for having me. I'm so excited. We are actually pretty soon going to have a Kind Catheirne video coming out.
Yes, very soon.
Yes, where Becky, a co-founder of our business, Micropolitan Matchmakers, and I rode along with Catheirne, and we said the nicest things about people driving by. So check it out.
We had so much fun. So yeah, you should go follow. It's The Palette Community on Instagram, or me. My name is Catheirne Hover, and my name on Instagram is Catheirne Hover. This is like another sidebar, but I remember when I created my Instagram account like forever ago, before Instagram was a thing, and I was just like, should I? And I can vividly remember thinking about like, should my name not be Catheirne Hover? Like, should it be, I don't know, the Paint and Sip lady or something? And I remember like racking my brain over this, and then it just came to me like, my name should just be my name. If you can get your name, you should just have your name, right?
I know. I couldn't get my name. Gab Fisher, I guess, is like a popular name, but
yeah, we'll get it.
We would have secured the handle Beyonce and then had made her team pay us millions of dollars to get her the handle.
Right. Yeah, I know. I have a couple of friends like that are like it's just their first name, and it's like but the name is like, it's not Beyonce, it's like, something. Yeah. I couldn't just be Catheirne. That's just.
I think you could, honestly. I think you could. you could pull that off for sure.
I can be Catheirne. I did. Okay, we keep on getting off on tangents here, but I did Google my name last night because I think it's important to do that every once in a while. Make sure there's no like scandalous stuff on the internet or inaccurate information about my business or anything. Yeah. Right? And I tried. So I was Katie Willis growing up.
Oh, okay, yep.
So, but when I opened Paint and Sip, and I had just gotten married, I was like, I'm going by Catheirne Hover. I'm just like, this is a new reinvention of who I am.
So cool.
But like, there's no record of Katie Willis now. It's strange. It's kind of like giving me like the I need to maybe drum her back up and explain to people who she was. I mean, she was me. She was a reckless, out of control, lost.
So maybe it's best that she's your alter ego, Well, when did you make that transition? Right when you got married?
Yeah. So when I got married, and then I got into a lot of maybe you get this too because of Gabby. I don't know. You tell me if this is totally inaccurate. But when I went down to get my business license, whatever, and I showed up, I was like, I'm Katie, and I just felt like no one took me seriously. And in hindsight,
yeah,
I don't take myself seriously. So, but I just felt like Katie was such a child's name, and Catheirne was so professional and leveled up. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe your friend Hope can help me figure this out in my personal identity or something. Psychology. But my point is that your digital footprint. You should go look up what your name is and make sure that all that stuff is accurate.
Totally agree. I totally think that's a really good point.
I'm sure you had to do that for your personal brand launch to make sure no one, you're Gabby Fisher, no one else was trying to be Gabby Fisher.
Yeah, no, especially if you put Gabby Fisher Albany, it's all pretty accurate as of last month when I checked, hopefully.
Yeah, so you do this too. It's not just me.
No, I think you should. And I think I think it's important too, especially if you are planning on starting a business, to kind of do that legwork in advance and see what's out there and update as you can. But
update as needed, or call in Gabby Fisher to help you.
Oh man,
make sure the story's right. Yeah, got to get the story right. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here for it.
Thank you.
I love you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that I get to witness all the growth and all the ambition and just everything that you're doing. I can't rave about. I can't hype you enough.
I appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you for your support. And thanks to the palette community. And keep an eye out for that kind Catheirne video.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. Cute. We yelled cute couple to so many people who clearly had not heard it in quite some time. So sadly for them, happily for us, we brought them. We reminded them just how happy they looked.
Totally. Nailed it.
All right. Have a good rest of your day. You're the best. You're the bomb. I'll see you soon.